everyone, Deborah with Pinching Pesos here, and here is that promised video I said that I was going to do on global shipping program and setting up for international buyers. I, first of all, I'm going to make a disclaimer. I don't know everything. Shocking, right? I don't claim to know everything. I'm not a guru and I'm not an expert. This is just my personal experience as to how I am now setting up my listings for international shipping. I have for years been an advocate for shipping internationally yourself. I have always shipped all of my international items myself. I thought the global shipping program was a ripoff. When it first came out, it was doubling, sometimes tripling the amount of postage that my international customers were spending on their items. And since I didn't have any problem doing it myself, then I didn't see the point. I insure through ShipSaver. It covers pretty much every country that I ship to for $1 every 100 bucks. And, I just didn't have a problem. Well, let's back it on up to last week. I was questioning Chad because Golden Finger Picker, he uses global shipping program for everything. And unlike me, where I use calculated shipping on my listings, he uses flat rate shipping, not flat rate boxes, but actually like flat whenever you see the little drop down that says flat instead of calculated. And then he does global shipping program for all of his international. And so I was questioning him because some of his practices, and I was asking him to go back and forth and show me invoices and this and that. And it brought up the idea of me needing to go in and look at my actual listings for my international rates. Now, like I said, back when it first started and for a while there, customers were just getting screwed over. The shipping rates were really, really high. They were just not comparable to what I was able to charge just doing calculated shipping. Things have changed, and I'm going to show you how. Now, Canadian buyers, if you use global shipping program, they don't like it because they're getting jacked over. They're paying for duty that they shouldn't really be responsible for. Their shipping rates are too high, and you're just going to have some really angry Canadian customers, or not have any Canadian customers at all. Well, in general, not at all, but in general, if you're using GSP. And I'm going to show you how to set up your listings so that way you can use the global shipping program for all the other countries that it's available to, without jacking over your Canadian customers. Shipping to Canada is basically the same as shipping within the United States. I've never had a package lost. I've never had any issues with any Canadian buyers. They don't have the issues that some of the across the ocean buyers have, where they get the package or the package is at the post office and then they have these taxes and duty that they're supposed to pay, back fees, and they didn't know, quote unquote, even though eBay tells them, and then they don't want to pay it, and then the package is there and then it gets returned to you and you lose all your shipping money, and they're not happy because they didn't get their package and they don't want to pay the fees. And that happens. I've went through that a couple of times, maybe two times with buyers in England. Now, I did do this live because, and I'm a little nervous about it, I don't know why, but I did do it live just because if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Put question in big bold so I can see it, because it's just me, so it's hard for me to follow the chat. But if I can scroll through and I see question in big bold letters, then I can identify it pretty easily. But if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat and I will try to answer them. Like I said, I'm not the expert know-it-all of international shipping, but I have done it myself for the whole time I've ever, the whole time I've been selling on eBay. So let me check the chat real quick before I get started showing you how I am now setting up all my new listings, and then I have to go back in and change all of my old listings. And I'm going to explain why as well. So, okay, so we're good. No questions over in the chat. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you, and we will get started. Okay. Okay, so I have this listing for this makeup, right? And if you look here, you can see this has been set up as global shipping program. It is $14.75 for this customer in the United Kingdom to get this item through global shipping program, shipped priority. That's the important part, shipped priority. Now, when you use the global shipping program, all you have to do is get your item to Kentucky. Once it's made it to Kentucky, it's completely out of your hands. So you're not liable if the item gets lost, if it gets broken. eBay should have your back, because if you got it to Kentucky, you did your part. I have put down in the comments of this video this page from eBay for global shipping program FAQs. It has everything in there from all of the countries. Gosh, this has greatly expanded since they first started this program. We're at 101 countries that it's shipping to, including those ones that nobody wants to ship to, like Brazil and Mexico and most of the South American countries people don't typically want to ship to, and a lot of those aren't covered by insurance if you were trying to ship to them, like Russia, Mexico, Brazil. Normally insurance doesn't want to cover those countries. Well, global shipping program has you covered, and those are all brand new customers that you wouldn't have had before. It also shows the restricted categories as well. This has changed since I looked at it years back, because it used to not let you ship, and this is off the top of my head, but I remember, maybe I'm wrong, that anything that was breakable wasn't able to be shipped through GSP. So if it was pottery, I specifically remember pottery being part of it, or more fragile items, you couldn't ship them. No, you don't crash computer. Let's wait. Chrome is giving me problems today. So if it all closes down, I'm really sorry. So these are all that's left as far as restricted categories. And this isn't bad. We all know that fragrances can't be shipped in the air. They kaboom. They're pressurized and they explode. They're flammable. So you can't ship fragrances, some pet supplies, and some sporting goods. There are also limitations on some particular items that you can send, because each country has its own restrictions. Down in the description, I also have the Postal Service's index of countries, and you can click on them and see what items are restricted. But the fortunate part about it is, if you're using global shipping program, you don't even have to worry about that, because eBay has it covered. If your item is a restricted item, and I'm going to show you in a minute how it looks if the item is actually restricted and you didn't know, and it's restricted for a particular country, it's not going to show up. So also, your prohibited items are typical medical devices, things that perishable, batteries, printer toner. That's one that you want to keep in mind if you're trying to ship internationally. That one you're going to have to do yourself. Stop it, Chrome. It keeps being unresponsive. So these are only some of the prohibited items. Each country, like I said, has its own restrictions. Italy, you can't ship leather goods. You got leather shoes, you can't ship them to Italy. Cosmetics are a lot of them. There's a lot of countries that have restrictions on cosmetics. Oh, look, it's right here. Cosmetics, including perfume. And however, there are countries that those aren't restricted on the global shipping program, because I have cosmetics that are listed in the cosmetics area, and most of the countries are restricted, but like United Kingdom and Australia, and those are not. You also want to bear in mind that there are additional restrictions. They won't ship to PO boxes unless the PO boxes are in these countries. And also there are size restrictions as well. So these are the size restrictions for individual countries. So if you're putting in your dimensions, which I always do, if you're putting in your dimensions on your items that are large, if it's not a typical size, I always say if it's more than 12 inches, put all your dimensions in. If your box is going to be bigger than 12 inches on any side, put in your dimensions. eBay will automatically knock those out of the global shipping program. There's also a restriction on the price of the item. So in these particular countries, your item will not be eligible for global shipping program if the sales price is over $114. Dominican Republic and El Salvador is at 200. These are at 500, down and down and down. So pay attention to that if you have something, whatever. Or don't pay attention at all and just know it's not going to go to all the places. There goes Chrome again. Now you can set up exceptions to the rules if you want to ship yourself, if your items are going to go over these certain restrictions. I'm not going to go over that with you. I'm not going to go over with setting up exceptions to the rules. That's something you're just going to have to figure out yourself. I have the link in the description of the video, and you can read all about doing exclusions and exceptions to the rules. Okay. Oh yeah, I wasn't even sharing my screen, so you guys didn't even see what I was pointing at, but it's in the comments. I'm an idiot. Okay, hang on. I'll share with you real quick so that way you can see what the heck I was just talking about for the last 5 minutes. Here we go. Go back over it real quick. So here's all of the countries, and here's all of the categories. Here's most of the restricted, prohibited items. You can see I was talking about cosmetics right there. And then here's the eligibility section. So you can see all of the countries that have the PO boxes. Here's the dimensional weight restrictions for different countries. And then here is those dollar amounts that I was talking about. If you want to learn about shipping exclusions, it's right here at the bottom telling you how to set those up yourself. In the description of the video, I have a dimensional weight calculator that I have posted the link for you in case you don't know how to do dimensional weight. Ba-da-da. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. And let's see. Let me check the chat real quick, and then I'm going to show you how I am setting up my listings from here on out. Question. Everyone is hearing about Amazon. The death to RA is official. Yeah, we're not talking about Amazon today. We will be talking about Amazon on the reseller stew. I don't know if that's happening today or tomorrow, because Jason Smith decided to do a video at noon today, which isn't typical. So I don't know if we're going to go ahead and do the show or not. Next. Does anyone legitimately follow the USPS rules on lithium-ion batteries? Yes, they do. Go back up. All right, that's it. Okay, so here, let me share my screen. Oh, let me get off YouTube. Here's how I am setting up my listings now. Okay, so here's a listing that I have for this pottery candle holder. If I go scrolling all the way down, I have my typical priority mail. I have started setting up doing free shipping. I'm giving that a try. That needs to go away. I'm giving that a try on seeing if it's helping my sales or not. Plus, I know people during Christmas time really prefer free shipping opposed to what they consider paying shipping, even though you're paying shipping no matter what. Now, when it comes to your international, when we get down here on your listing, this is what you're going to see. When you first start out, it's not going to say anything. So you're going to click on the Sell International with the Global Shipping Program. Down here, so you don't screw over your Canadian buyers, we're going to say this is calculated shipping. And then for the countries that we're shipping to, we're going to ship to Canada. And we're going to put first class international because it is a 1 to 2 pound item and first class is up to 4 pounds. First class international goes up to 4 pounds. Over 4 pounds is going to be priority mail. Okay, so this is how the listing is going to be set up for the global shipping program, with Canada being a country that you're going to ship to yourself, just like you do with all of your domestic items. Okay? Now, since you're not really sure when you're first starting out, what I would recommend is once you've listed your item, go back in and tell eBay that you're in a different country than the United States. So when you bring up your listing for yourself, it's going to be where you are. What you do is you go from description, go over to shipping and payments, and go ahead and change your country to Australia. This little thing right here is going to indicate that this is global shipping program. You can see it says no additional import charges when it's delivered. So we have shipping is going to be $30 with no import fees, shipping to Australia. I need to turn off my Facebook notifications real quick. Okay, done. Okay, now for Canada, we're gonna change it to Canada. You don't have to put in a zip code at all. You can just say Canada. Now you can see that the shipping to Canada is $15.50. If I had this set up on global shipping program, and that's first class as well. You can see it says delivery from September the 9th to September the 19th. If I didn't have the alternative shipping set up, I said none. So I only have global shipping program. I'm not going to ship anything myself. It's going to take a minute for this to update on eBay. Not really a minute, but just a couple refreshes. Let's see. Okay, so now you can see with the global shipping program, it's $11.14 being shipped priority mail, but they're gonna get charged an import charge. The customer for Canada shouldn't have to pay that import charge. So they're gonna end up paying $20 to have this item delivered when they could have paid $15. And keep in mind, the higher the value of the item, the more they're gonna pay in import fees that they don't feel like they should be paying. And that's why the Canadian customers keep thinking or saying that they're getting messed over by the global shipping program. So here's another item I have set up. This one is going global shipping program, shipping to Canada, all on its own. I want to find a heavier item. Oh, this is a cosmetic. So you can see on this cosmetic, see it's health and beauty, it's makeup, face, foundation, it's cosmetic. It's in the correct category, even though it said cosmetics were restricted. This one's going to the UK, but if I change it to Mexico, which Mexico doesn't show up, you want to know why? Because cosmetics are not allowed at all to be shipped to Mexico. Australia, 1826. In Canada, I'm doing all myself for $9.50. If I change this particular product over to global shipping program, we can see what that would be for Canada. So I'm going to say, nope, I'm not shipping anything myself internationally. It's all going to go global shipping program. And let's see what the price changes to for our Canadian buyer that was going to pay $9.50. And Canada has tracking. So it's going to show when it's delivered. It's just like shipping within the United States. So now they're going to pay $11.81 instead of $9.50. So that's not bad on a 13-ounce item, as opposed to if I do a higher dollar item. Let's show you. And this one's heavy too. Okay, so let's look at this Bumble and Bumble conditioner. Shipping myself to Canada would be $24.50. This is a nice bolo too. If you happen to see these on clearance, they're discontinued. Okay, so this item weighs 3 pounds, and I'm going to change this and say I am not shipping anything myself. It's going to go global shipping program. This one's not coming up right now. I have a buyer in the United Kingdom that bought this item and paid $35 in shipping for regular shipping to England. They would have paid $36 to ship it global shipping program. So basically, the example that I'm trying to give you is that the customers are no longer paying double and triple the price that they used to pay on global shipping program. They are paying either equal, a couple dollars more, or even less in some cases to have the item shipped priority international. It's going to be delivered faster. It will have tracking. You will be covered if the item is lost or broken, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So, and you don't have to worry about the customers saying they didn't know they were supposed to pay import fees because they've already paid them. If you have a customer who says, can we not use global shipping program? Generally, unless it's a Canadian buyer, generally the reason why that is because they don't want to pay the import fees. Well, it's not going to be to your advantage at all if you change it over to not being global shipping program for them, because when the item actually arrives, they're still going to have to pay it anyway. Only what's going to end up happening is they're going to refuse to pay it, and then your item is just going to sit there and get sent back to you. And you're going to be liable for the international shipping that you paid to get the item there, and they didn't go pick it up at the post office, because they will get a notice. So this is how I am now going to be setting up all of my listings. I will be setting them up as global shipping program with shipping directly to Canada myself. And the reason why is, like I just stated, the customers are going to get the item faster. They're not overpaying like they used to. And I'm not liable for the item once it's left Kentucky. And Kentucky is really close to me. It's like in one of my friend regions. So it doesn't cost that much for me to get items to Kentucky. So anyway, that is the basics of why I am changing over to global shipping program after years of being very anti GSP. I have for years said, no, I'm not going to do it. It sucks. My customers hate it, and it's awful. And yes, when it first came out, it sucked, and the customers hated it, and it was awful. And I wasn't scared to ship internationally myself, so it didn't benefit me whatsoever. Now, I see the benefit in it, and I'm switching. I've changed my mind. So anyway, let me look at the chat real quick. If you have any questions, post them over in the chat, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this out, because I think that's all I have to say about it. Let's see. I have a case opened against me right now from a UK buyer saying they did not receive their package. It's showing as delivered. Why was he even able to open a case? Sherry, you just need to contact, you can contact eBay and let them know that it was a global shipping program item. There is a global shipping department. So yeah. Everybody's just talking about Amazon over in the chat. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Nobody has any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and close out today. Like I said, I'm not sure if Jenny's asking, does GSP repackage every single ship? No, they don't. They don't repackage everything. They can, like, imagine that if your item is shipped in the wrong size box, why are they going to keep it in the wrong size box? They do open them for inspection, but you got the thing to Kentucky, that's all that matters. Their whole goal is to get it to the country in one piece. So even if they're repackaging the item, you're still covered for getting it to Kentucky. The way you set it up is national shipping included. Yes, domestic shipping doesn't change. The domestic shipping is set up the way you always set it up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out for today. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're doing the stew at noon Central Time today like we normally do, because I think Tanya is out. She is not feeling well today, and Jason Smith's doing a show at noon on the fall updates that are being released today, the fall seller updates. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. You can leave your comments down below the video. Bye.